Welcome back, friends, to another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. Lids87 here, and today I am over on my global account because I wanted to essentially recommend what EX weapons you guys should pick from the EX weapon shop after completing or perfecting all of the dimensions and order stages. Now, I was supposed to do this a few days ago. I wanted to wait until I actually did dimensions and order so I could actually show you guys that I did do it. But then over the past few days, I did come down with something. I don't know, some kind of like cold. It's really like all up here and the nasal. It's yeah, and I'm like at the tail end of it. I believe. I hope I'm better. I'm sounding better. I was all like nasally and congested, but I'm feeling better. I'm feeling great. So now that I'm feeling better and my voice is all right, I can finally make another video. So this is what I will be doing now. I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys what I used on my stages. I know there are a few people left that are still doing this, or potentially you are someone later down the line after I make this video and you actually finally have a chance to do all these. So these are the characters that I used, right? Tier 5, 4, I'll kind of go at a decent speed here. Tier 3, 2, 1. So that's what I use. I will show you the other one though, Pathos, because I know a lot of these for a lot of players. It was a pain. I'm going to tell you guys right now, Tier 6 was a real pain. Oh my gosh, that was a real pain. So Tier 7, Tier 6, I actually used Vayne. Deuce, man, Deuce was a winner there. She really made Deuce made Vayne pop on that stage, which was pretty sweet. So 5, 4, like here they weren't too bad. 3, 2, and 1. So definitely, at least for me, the tough one was 6, followed by I want to say potentially 5. It wasn't that bad, especially that I had Noelle. Noelle really helped out a lot. So, again, I just want to show you guys my team composition for set stages, and I cannot wait for the stash version of these. Looking forward to them. All right, friends. So, now for this way, compared to last time I did this, I'm going to do it a little bit differently. Okay, I opened up my application, and I'm gonna do it this way, like must-have, noteworthy, don't token, and honorable EX weapons like you could potentially pick up. Now, do keep in mind, friends, that keep an eye out for any potential banners that might get free pulls. Like, for example, the upcoming next arc chapter that's going to have Lise and Yustola. The first multi-draw is going to be free, so potentially hold on to your tokens until said event comes, because you could potentially get Yustola's EX weapon for free. Another thing is that this second EX token shop for the Dimensions End token shop, I'm just going to call it DE token shop, is permanent. So you don't have to use these tokens right away. You can essentially wait for someone later down the line, because we don't know if we'll potentially get a free multi-draw or not. It's possible. Again, we could potentially, some of these might come out around like the anniversary, our second year anniversary, which would be in February, which Furion should be on there alongside Emperor. It's possible. I'm not saying it's confirmed. I'm saying it's possible. So just keep that in mind as you go forward. And also, I'm also taking into consideration a lot of these units that I am mostly considering their EX plus forms of their weapons in regards to how strong they're going to be and how useful they are. I will say, like, going forward into this in the chaos era, a lot of units are viable. Like, a lot of units are viable as long as you have the correct team composition, all that wonderful stuff. You can use a lot of units in stages. All right, friends. So let's get through this. I'll try my best to lay these out, and I'll probably upload this somewhere, an Imager or something, and I'll probably put the link down below in the description if you guys would like to have a full version of this. So let's go through, friends. Let's see. What do I want to start off? Let's see. Now, I want to say, I guess for the first must-have, one of the first must-haves. Now, if you don't have Ultimisia right now at the moment, at the time of making this video, she is live. She's a great magic unit. If you don't have Ultimisia, I would say Ace. Ace is definitely a must-have. He's an amazing magic DPS unit for sure, hands down. So if you don't have any other magic DPS units, get him. At the time of making this video, also Kuja is going to be coming out. Kuja is also a good viable option to get more AoE, and sometime on the horizon, Golbez will come out, and he's essentially going to out-damage a lot of these units. But again, Ace is a really good unit to have. Now, Sarah, at the moment, if you do have Sarah already from her previous awakening, she's a good option for, especially for tier 7 in Dimensions and Pathos. But I'm going to say, don't token it. If you don't have it, wait, because on the horizon, we will be getting a triple EX banner with, it's going to have Setzer, Vanille, and Sarah on it. And in my personal opinion, that's an amazing banner to pull on. So I would wait until you pull on that banner if you are going to, if you do want Sarah, wait until that banner. It should be on the next Ultimate Trial, which is going to be Ultimate Brothers, because currently it is Ultimate Leviathan, so probably like another month and a half when we will be seeing that triple EX banner, because they're going to rerun Super Synergy characters for the previous Ultimate Trials except Leviathan, so it's going to be Ifrit, Shiva, and Rama, so that's why it's going to be Setzer, Vanille, and Sarah. Wait until that banner to pull for Sarah, and if you don't get it there, okay, then token her. Now, next up, let's do, let me see. Let's do Paladin Cecil next. Now, he will be upcoming. Maybe I'll separate the upcoming ones on the right-hand side and the ones that are essentially almost relevant. Put it right here. There we go. So Paladin Cecil, he definitely a noteworthy unit, but we are going to have to wait a few months for him. He will be on Bane's Lost Chapter. Paladin Cecil, jack of all trades, healing, holy enhance, holy impero. He's a very good unit, can dish out his own damage. Jack of all trades, very good unit later down the line. I will say, let's see, who's next? Let's do Noctis. Now Noctis, I will say, if you don't have him already, if you're pretty much newer to the game, I wouldn't at this point, only because there are stronger DPS units. If you are an absolute fan of Noctis, just make sure you have. And if you want to token his EX weapon, then I would say make sure to pair him with other units that can really buff his attack, like Ramza, Rosa, Deuce, for example. Just a few examples, just to make him somewhat chaos viable, because I did bring my Bane into like a level 180 stage. I tried it a few times without a buffer like Deuce, and then once I paired him with Deuce, he did okay. He did okay. So again, I would wait until later on for Noctis, especially because he doesn't have an EX Plus at the moment, and it's still going to be several months before we see it. So at the moment, I really don't recommend Noctis. Warrior Light, I would say Warrior Light is definitely a must-have. He is a top-tier support because of his shields. Sure, at the moment with cast stages, he can't really dish out a lot of damage of his own. So again, if you pair him up with an attack buffer, like with Rosa on the horizon, with her Lost Chapter, Rosa is going to be a great attack buffer. She'll buff his int brave, so his shields are going to be great. He can finally dish out his own damage, so definitely a must-have support if you don't have him just yet. Let's see who's next. Toto. I would say Toto. I would wait for her. I would wait until she does come out with. Hopefully, I pronounce this correctly. Calmanot. And she is essentially the Elemental Imperialer Queen. Now, we will be getting essentially a change to how Elemental weaknesses work. So, long story short, if you hit a weakness, even though their damage type is resisted, they will still do the full damage and some, whatever the weakness damage is. Because at the moment, even if you hit a weakness, but their magic type is resisted, you're not going to do as much damage. So, if we get that change, if you have Toto, you could potentially make some interesting plays there, but at the moment I would probably wait. And even still, like, I know a lot of viewers are familiar with the burst era already. I mean, you guys can wait on her until then, but that, just keep in mind you're going to be waiting for several months. What, like maybe like 9+ months until we actually go into that era, and you could potentially chase for her burst there and get her EX weapon there, so to say. But until then, I wouldn't token here, friends. I would wait. I would definitely wait for her. Now, let me see. Yuna. Actually, I'm going to put Yuna in noteworthy. Upcoming, she will be with Kamari. And Yuna is going to be an excellent auto farmer, because once you get her to 3-3, she will get Veil 4 right off the top. Oh, my alarm's going off. Sorry about that. Veil 4 will be accessible at the start of the quest with her 3-3. So that means hit it in auto, freaking energy ray, and that's it. She will be great for auto farming. That's not it. I mean, her Asuna will come in handy with some of these FODs. There's a few of them where the enemies can inflict some gnarly debuffs on your party, and she will come in handy there, especially if you don't have someone like Glenn on the team, or if you don't plan to pull for Ignis down the line. Yuna's a good option. Now, Terra, I will say she is. I want to put her almost like in between, but she's an okay magic DPS unit once she gets her EX plus later down the line. But at the moment, me personally, I wouldn't. But if you're a Terra fan, by all means. But I would wait until Gao's event. I would wait. There will be other magic DPS units in my opinion that there will be better. That's just me, but let, don't read me out on that one, guys. Don't read me out on that one. Let's see. Vincent, I would say Vincent is noteworthy. He has his EX Plus out now, but he's got some good debuffs, some fire, thunder, in peril. If we do get those elemental changes sooner rather than later, and we don't have to wait until Golbez's Lost Chapter, he'll just be a little bit more viable, especially with other units that do those types of damage. I have seen videos of him being used on content. He's doing amazing. He's doing great. He can help you guys clear out content. Vaughn, I am going to say don't token. Only because there are so many other magic DPSs, like at the moment, like Ace. We have Ultimisia. If you don't have them, the one thing holding Vaughn back is the fact that he does several types of elements that different elements attached to his kit, and that can hinder him because if one is resisted, he is not going to be doing the full type of damage unless, again, once we're going back to that elemental imperil change. If we do get that, if you do imperil one type of his elements that he inflicts, then he's going to be great. But other than that, that's the one thing that is really holding him back. That's really holding him back, or else I would put him at noteworthy. I mean, he is going to be a good unit upon release, but that's the one thing that is definitely holding him back. Now, Lightning, I will say, here's another don't token. I'm going to say don't token because it's going to be a little bit before we get her EX Plus, but she's going to be on an amazing banner. Now, later down the line, she will be on a banner with Shadow and Hope. I know a lot of players are like, wait, what? Hope? Ew. Hope gets good later on, guys, with his EX Plus, his rework. He's a very good unit. Shadow's a great unit. Lightning is an amazing unit with her EX Plus. And Lightning can actually solo a few FEOD stages. I want to say like 2 of them. Same thing with Shadow. Shadow can solo a few FEOD stages. That clears up the other 2 units that you could potentially use on other FEOD stages. So if you do like Lightning, if you are a fan of hers, I would wait until that banner later down the line, because again, those other 2 units, they're really good. Guys, they're really good. I wouldn't skip out on that banner. That's like the same thing with the Terra banner and that triple EX banner. It's just one of those banners where I would highly recommend at least throw tickets, at least 100. See what you get. All right, friends. Now, Zidane, there's a lot of like don't tokens. Zidane, I would say don't token because we're gonna have to wait quite a while for his EX Plus, but he comes out with a character name. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing it correctly. Keese. Now, Keese is going to be a very, very broken unit. Very broken. Must pull, I would say. Must pull. He does some interesting chase shenanigans. I know I'm talking about Keese, but we're on Zidane. But I'm trying to say that Keese, he's too good to pass up, guys. So if you don't have Zidane now, don't token. Wait until Keese's event. Potentially pick up Zidane there, and then Keese will come out. Zidane is really good with his EX Plus. He gets another rework down the line. I have him over on JP. I love what they did with this kit. He's finally really good, and I would wait until then. Now, I'm going to pair these 3 up together, okay? Because you can have either or. Okay? So Tidus, Cloud, and Squall. They all do their own things. They're all essentially melee DPS units. They all have their own uses. If you have one or the other, that is fine, as long as you have 2 types of melee DPS units, because depending on what FEODs we get on the horizon, it looks like they're keeping them the same as JP, with the Pathos essentially being FEOD beta over on JP. So once we get Chaos, they might start following the same way. So Cloud, very strong. If you're a new player, there should be a start dash campaign banner that you guys see. So it should be Squall, Lightning, and Cloud. If you can, pick up either Squall or Cloud there. They're going to be very useful. If that's the case, don't pick up Squall or Cloud here. Pick up Warrior Light. Pick up a magic unit like Ace, for example, or unit down the line, or even Tidus. He's also good with his AOE EX Plus 100%, fully 3 out of 3. He does some great AOE damage. will come in very useful. It charges up at a pretty good speed, especially yeah, it's going to be very useful, especially with multiple bosses. So again, Cloud, Squall, try to get them on that start dash banner for new players, veteran players. We've already had this. It's not going to be available. Really good units, really good melee DPS units. Now, who is next? Let's do an honorable. Now, I have been seeing some interesting shenanigans with this guy. I'll say he's honorable. Okay, if you want to try out some fun shenanigans, Dark Knight Cecil, it's fun. He's got some great chase. He does hurt himself. He does use his HP in order to use his abilities, but it's great. The things that I've been seeing. Just be sure to pair him up with someone like Shalada, for example, to increase the HP damage done during the chase. Or even Fang, she has HP damage up attached to her additional ability. Then you could essentially have yourself quite the interesting chase team there. Shalada will heal him back up. That's fine. So if you guys have not Paladin Cecil, Dark Knight Cecil, let me know down below in the comments because I have been seeing some really interesting videos with him. Now, in regards to chasing, I'm going to put this guy down as honorable too, but it is very situational. I always want to put him in between. Okay, just it depends on the situation because in this chaos era, we're noticing that a lot of these bosses are starting to become beefier. If it's one boss, he should do okay. He should do fine. He should do okay. But you got to make sure you got to pair them up with other units that can dish out their own damage. They can brave. Shalado is a great person to pair up with Lael. And make sure to have Pandemonium just for extra damage. You might be able to get a nice big chunk of HP damage off of the boss. But at this point in the game, me personally, I would not token Lael's EX weapon. I would wait until later down the line when he returns with Chiron. That's when he gets his EX plus, rework. He's going to be a really good, solid unit at that point. Now, Furion, kind of almost want to put him in between also. Because self-sustaining, Brave Battery, and Brave up to the party. He's got some nice buffs. He will be coming out with Emperor. Now, if you are planning to pull for Emperor, don't token him here, right? Don't token him. If you're not planning to pull for Emperor, don't token him. He's okay. He's not bad. Me personally, I would prefer other melee DPS units over him. But that's just me. I know a lot of players will be pulling for Emperor. Emperor is a really good unit that has traps built into his kit. So if you're going to be pulling for Emperor, there's a chance that you could get Furion. So for him, I'm just going to leave him in the middle. Noteworthy. Don't token. That's just my 2 cents. Don't read me out on that one, guys. All right, don't read me out on that one. Now, all right, let's do Zack next. I will say that Zack is a must pull, but he is upcoming though. He's not yet. He will be not with this upcoming arc chapter, with the following alongside with Ignis. Try to throw some tickets on that banner because Ignis is also a really good unit. He essentially has like 2 stances, right? One like increases your party's overflow, all that wonderful stuff, and his other stance stops or gives the party debuff immunity. So pretty much like Lena. He's like a Lena. There we go. He's like a Lena. With one of his stances, he gives the party debuff immunity, debuff evade, which can come in handy, especially if you don't have Lena on the party. You don't have Yuna. I will say that having one of these units is going to come in very handy because there are some bosses that can apply some really gnarly debuffs to the party. So pulling on the Ignis banner, especially if you don't have Lena or Yuna, will be very beneficial for you guys, especially if you are able to pick up Ignis. But Zack, man, once this guy gets his EX plus, he can really dish out the damage. Holy crap, this guy can dish out the damage. Even if magic is resisted, just the fact that he can taunt up all the enemies, right? Pull all the attention to him, and with his int shield, just soak up all the damage. It's beautiful. It's great, and he's able to he can self-sustain himself. He can heal himself. So even if he takes HP damage, he's gonna be fine. So Zack, must-have unit. I'm gonna put him like friggin' like god tier up here, but I should have thought of that before. But at the moment, yes, he will be a must-have once he gets his EX Plus. I mean, right now he is viable. I have seen him used on some of the current End of Dimensions on the Tier 5 against the Turtle and the Lizards, even though it is magic resistant. Again, just the fact that he can pull off the pressure from the rest of the units. It's too good, guys, too good. All right, next up, I'm going to talk about Istola. Istola, in my opinion, is a must-have unit. Must-have, must-have. I would token her. Me personally, I already have her. So if you guys are in need of a really good support, Istola is going to be the go-to. She can heal. She can revive your party. Although that's really iffy because if a unit dies, that really will affect your score. But I mean, there's a chance you could still get away with it just by like a few thousand over the score requirement. She can delay. She's an excellent source as a Brave Battery. Hermetica, it will still be. There is no HP attack attached to it when she gets her EX plus, but you can set up some really interesting things. For example, Istola, Medica into Tifo when she gets her EX plus. You're gonna do some really amazing chase damage. It's gonna be great. Even if magic is resisted, Istola is still an excellent source of Brave Battery. She can still delay, which can save you guys in a really tight situation. So she should be this month. Upon making this video, she should be soon. Sometime this month after making this video. So I highly recommend it. But keep in mind, this is one of the units where the first multi-draw will be free. So if you are planning to go for Istola, wait until you do your free multi-draw. Because if you get it for free, then you have the option to pick between any of these other EX weapons. So just wait, especially if you're going to go for Istola. Now, Bartz. Bartz, I will say he is a noteworthy unit. Once he gets his EX Plus, he will be on Ultimate Brother, so it's not this current Ultimate Trial. It's going to be the next one, so potentially like in the next month and a half. He's a really good unit. He's got gravity built into his kit, which is going to be amazing, especially with all these really tough bosses and the high amounts of brave that they have. He will be paired with Yuffie, which she on herself, she becomes really good. She's got an interesting virus-like effect. If you guys ever fought the mantises on any of the stages, they have a virus effect where your units cannot essentially gain any buffs, and this is essentially mixed with almost a Setzer freeze where it stops the enemy from gaining brave. They can still steal brave from your units. It's only if they do, like, for example, like the behemoths, when all of a sudden they get a massive amounts of brave just out of nowhere, and then they charge at units and they can one-shot you. She can stop that. Yuffie can stop that. She can stop units from gaining buffs. So if you guys are planning to pull for Yuffie, don't token here. But I do believe that Bartz will be a very noteworthy unit with his EX Plus once that comes out. All right, friends. So last but not least, Ramza. Now, I really didn't know what to do with Ramza. Now, I know before I did say on my last video, I said, don't token him. Don't token him because he will be coming out with a really good melee DPS later down the line. Jack, he's a great unit. Great unit in my own personal opinion. I have him on JP. I've maxed out Jack. He's really good. I really think he's good. But I've been convinced otherwise. I've been seeing videos. I know FMOG in my Discord. He's been telling me all the wonderful things about Ramza. I have Ramza. I should give him more love. He is a good unit, and I'm going to put him in honorable because he's got some really nice party buffs, attack, max brave, and the most important thing, of course, is the fact that he gets free turns once you get his shout all the way to essentially like its third stack, and then he gets HP plus plus plus. I always say this when it comes to HP plus plus pluses, just change the name at that point, call it something else. It's gonna get to a point where it's like HP plus 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 plus. It's like running off of the screen, right? So he is a really good unit when it comes to free turns, get away with those types of shenanigans. I think as a team buffer with party buffs, I think Rosa would be a next up replacement for him, but of course she doesn't have free turns. Ramza does, so if you're at that point, if you're like, oh, okay, I got Rosa, should I invest in Ramza. I think at that point, just try to focus on building out the rest of your team. Get your damage in, get your debuffer, your buffers. But again, Ramza is a really good option to potentially get at this current moment. All right, friends. So that is it for my recommendations. Again, these are of course the very absolute top ones that I recommend. I mean, top three: Istola, Ace. These guys you should potentially have already, and Word of Light. Once Zack comes out, then once Zack gets his EX plus, then for sure he'll be up there. So any of these other units are fine. Me personally, the ones that I am going to be looking for, I can't decide between a few. It's either between Zack, Yuna, or Paladin Cecil. I already have Vayne, so I'm not going to be pulling on Vayne's Lost Chapter banner. So that means I won't be getting Paladin Cecil's weapon there. I could potentially get Yuna, but I don't want Kamari. That's just me. I want her because she's a great auto farmer, and Zack, you guys heard, he's an amazing unit. So I may just throw like a massive amounts of tickets on the Ignis banner to see. Hopefully I can luck Zack both of them. All right, friends. So that is it for this video, friends. Thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you guys for seeing essentially my new way of trying this out. Again, I'll probably just save this out, upload it to Imager. I'll put it down and below in the description. Be sure to sound off in the comments. Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? Who are you guys pulling for? Who are you guys gonna wait for someone on the horizon? All right, friends. So let me know all that wonderful stuff down below in the comments. So until next time, friends, good luck and have a good one.